In studio with us tonight is Representative Randy Gardner. He is a Republican, 6th District in Ohio, and in your third term, correct?
Third term this time around.
All right. Well, tell us what is new in Columbus. You've introduced a bill regarding mandates. What's this about?
Right. Yes, it's House Bill 30. Came out of the House Education Committee actually last evening and is expected to be on the House floor next week. And basically what it does is it relieves school districts of a number of unfunded and unnecessary mandates that cost them money in an era of very tight budgets, less state money. The last state budget cut direct aid to schools, state aid, by $500 million. We're going to lose about $1.9 billion in federal money from the last 2 years. And in that scenario, it's unfair, we believe, to try to force things like all-day, mandatory all-day, everyday kindergarten, smaller class sizes, other things that Governor Strickland proposed and enacted 2 years ago on schools at this time when simply the schools have less money. So we're trying to give local school boards, local school leaders, the freedom to manage their budgets in these difficult times.
Well, it sounds like something that schools would, in most cases, be in favor of. Do you think you'll have the momentum to get this through?
Well, we unfortunately last evening it was a partisan vote in committee, but we have worked with a number of education organizations. We have a number of school board leaders supporting, and superintendents and other education organizations have been supportive. The bottom line is this: it doesn't mean that we're not for smaller class sizes and all-day kindergarten. Those are good things, and a number of the schools in our area do have those. It simply means that at this time, with a state budget facing an $8 billion state budget deficit, we just think it's unfair to impose new mandates, new rules, new spending on local schools at a time when the state is not going to be able to provide more money. It's time for some honesty, some real candor with the taxpayers and with the schools in our areas to say, we're going to try to provide some cost savings. We're going to try to provide a little bit more flexibility for you to manage your budgets. And I expect we'll pass this bill next week in the House, and I'm hopeful that by the time Governor Kasich introduces his budget around March 15th, that this bill will be on his desk and signed so that we can save some taxpayer dollars before we tackle a very tough state budget.
Okay. Now, speaking of Governor Kasich, we've switched from a Democratic governor to a Republican governor very recently. What hopes do you have for Kasich being in office? What changes could people expect? Well,
the one thing, clearly, Governor Kasich is not a patient governor. I think he wakes up every day trying to find ways he can create more jobs, trying to find ways that he can change the state and move us in a positive direction. When you move fast and make decisions fast, it creates some anxiousness among the public and even maybe among legislators, but it's the kind of action-oriented governor that I think we need at this time. There's some very tough decisions. I'm not going to agree with the governor. I told the governor very early on, I said, the governor didn't vote for me. People in Wood County voted for me, and so I've got an obligation to listen to them and work with them. But I'll support the governor when I can. But the area that he is most excited about is the jobs front. We've already passed legislation that will try to reform the Department of Development. It needs it badly, and I'm hopeful that over time we're going to be able to really do something about the jobs climate. He says he wakes up every day. The president wakes up getting a security briefing every day. Governor Kasich wakes up every morning and gets a jobs briefing. And that's his priority. And for Ohio's future, I'm very hopeful he's successful.
Well, our state needs jobs, so everybody's watching. Thank you so much. We appreciate you, Representative Gardner.
Glad to be here. Thanks for having me.
That is tonight's Talk Back.